So, Jamie, it's good to see you today. Uh,
Yeah.
Tell me about what's been going on.
Oh man, where do I start? Um, I mean, besides from like the regular, busy with school and everything, I think especially since like being home so long for winter break, I just got really, really tired of being home. Like, I love my family more than anything. Like, I think most people do, but they just get on my nerves so much. Like, I don't know. I'm just at this weird like point in my life, just early adulthood where I'm not on my own, but I am on my own. So like I don't really know what to do. It's just a weird feeling.
If I understand what you're saying, it's a sense of frustration almost.
I would probably say frustration. Like just like things my mom does sometimes. She'll say something or do something, and I just get so mad at her, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm like really mad at you, but I am.
Yeah. So that sounds like anger too.
Yeah, I feel bad for like taking it out on her sometimes, but it's just how I feel and like her ideals, I guess, and like don't always line up with mine, and like she thinks about things differently than I do, so it's really difficult.
And so you're saying that this is coming from a feeling of becoming your own individual and still feeling like um, your family's kind of overstepping that, maybe.
I don't know if they're overstepping because I mean I'm definitely at a point where like I still rely on them
Mm-hmm.
like financially and like everything I need their support in every way I can, but once you've had time like on your own and like you get to decide what you do when, like who you hang out with, like you don't really have to like ask for permission or just like have to do whatever your parents tell you. Once you get used to that for a while, like it's hard going back to that. And I don't know, just I can see like things I've gotten from my family, like traits and everything, and like some of them are really good, and then some of them I'm just like, oh, that's why I'm like this, like procrastinating and stuff. Like 2 weeks ago, I went home and celebrated my grandmother's 80th birthday. And I was so excited because it was a surprise party, and like my grandmother is the sweetest woman in the world. And so I was like, this is my mom's mom. Like she's gonna like go all out. She's been calling me about ideas and stuff. She's gonna have it together. But sure enough, when I get there, I get to where we're having a party, and my mom has me go out and buy decorations, and I was like, oh, I wanted to scream. I just wanted to yell at her right then and there because I was like, Mom, people will be here in like 2 hours. We have to decorate. I know we have food covered, but like literally everything else, like why didn't you get it sooner? And then I was running around stores and
So is it, you talked about transitioning from being asking for permission for things, being at home, relying on your parents for so much to becoming kind of your own person in a way. You talked about how that was a difficult transition in a sense. And earlier you mentioned kind of feelings of frustration and anger. Um, so is it, or so the feelings of frustration and anger, are they're linked to um, how you are becoming your own individual, you think?
I mean I think so because I remember like my freshman year of college and like going home all the time and like being excited to go home because I was like I want to get away from Boone, like get me out of this place, like it's so stressful. But like now I've spent like more and more time because I have even more work than I did back then, and I just rather stay up here and get it all done. But I've also like grown so much from the music therapy program and like SAI and just making new friends here and all the new opportunities I've had and stuff. So it's really just a really difficult like transition, and I wasn't sure I'd ever get to this point where I like, because I was never like ever frustrated with my parents, like middle school age, like that's always like the worst age for people. But I never like got upset at my mom or dad or anything. I just rolled with the punches and took life as it was and loved everybody. And now I'm like forming my own opinions and thoughts and ways of doing things.
So it sounds like the roles in terms of stress and where you feel that have shifted and they've swapped since you've began to become your own person.
I think so. I mean, being an adult is it's hard. Like just because you're your own person and you have to manage like things here. Sure, we have deadlines and professors being like, hey, get this done, can't turn this in late, what have you. But like at the end of the day, it's your decision whether you do it or not. Or there's laundry and dishes and like just cleaning your dorm or apartment or whatever. It's a lot to manage. And the relationships and friendships and trying to socialize and have fun every once in a while, like it's impossible to find a balance. It feels
like. Responsibilities, or what it sounds like you're emphasizing. That's the stresses almost, or the frustrations or responsibilities.
Constantly.
Yeah.
There's always something going on. I always have a list of things I could be doing, whether I want to do them or not. And it feels like a never-ending cycle some days.
And balance, that was the other thing you said. Can you talk more to that?
Yeah, balance has always been an issue for me because I love what I do and I want to work really, really hard and like, get out of school, like be done with school and everything because I've been doing this for how long now? Ready to like go on to a new chapter and do new things and stuff. And just I just work so hard, like, and I want to succeed and do good things. And having that like pressure on myself my entire life, now I have to like make the choice whether I like sacrifice like going above and beyond and being successful in school over like, taking time for myself or even just spending time with my friends. Like sometimes I feel like I block them out and I certainly don't mean to, but we just go separate ways and kind of lost in our own stuff. So it's hard to come back together.
So it sounds like that both in school and with your friends, there's passion there, or like a certain level of care. And sometimes the care for those two things can intersect the other one and can kind of push it to the back burner. Would you agree with that?
I would. Because, like as much as you want to do both, you have to like choose sometimes. Because I mean, school is why I'm here, and I'm paying however much money every year to like be here, and I can't let my friends get in the way of getting onto my career and doing what I want to do for the rest of my life. But at the same time, I don't want to lose my friends because they're going to be around hopefully for the rest of my life, and I want those connections and all the fun we had in college and be able to see them grow up and everything and do their stuff. It's really
exciting. So it sounded like you were kind of talking about like pressures or expectations when it comes to school. Could you talk a little more about that?
Yeah, my dad really instilled in me like at an early age. Well, I was successful at an early age, and then once like that happens and your parents see like good grades coming home and everything, like they get excited and like they're happy for you and they like want that for you and they want you to keep going. And like my dad's always taught me to like work really really hard, and so I have. And I know, like, I remember in high school, like, I'd be up, so late, just doing homework constantly. It's what it feels like I'm doing now, but even more so because I didn't have as many responsibilities back then. Um, and just, you just want to be good at what you're doing and succeed. Sometimes it's just like too much to put on yourself, but at the same time, that's just always how I've been, and I want to work hard for myself and others because at least like in the music therapy world, like it's not about us. It's always about the client, and that's what I strive to focus on as other people. And so if I work hard, even if it might hurt me a little bit, like I'm doing it for others. I think.
So if I understand what you're saying correctly, this kind of sense of hard work and determination and pushing through has been something that's been with you for a long time. Through your schooling has kind of shaped who you are now.
Yeah.
And as you were talking about staying up late and like maybe causing a little bit of hurt for yourself for the good of others, um, maybe a sense of like anxiety or feeling anxious during that. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I can just thinking about it, like I think I always go back to junior year because I had AP US history, which was a nightmare because I had the worst teacher and I'm not a history person, so like it was just a bad time overall. And then AP statistics, which I love math. And if I hadn't ended up in music, I'd probably be doing some sort of math thing. But between that and marching band and regular band and just like that was when like I started looking at college, and everything, and like, oh, I gotta figure this stuff out. Like it was a lot, and I remember that being a really anxious and very stressful time. That's when I really started to like hate work and and just I knew I was overdoing it then, but I just couldn't stop myself.
So like a sense of overexertion or stretching yourself too thin seems to kind of be like a theme. Do you think you could talk more about that?
Yeah, I mean, like as much as I don't know. I know I'm a very like slow worker, and I take like a lot of time to like put effort and thought into like everything I do. And I feel like sometimes that brings me down because then I spend like more times on things than I probably should. But like I'm trying like so hard to make it good and, you know, develop my skills and just learn things and keep on top of things. And it's just when like everything's piling on and stuff, it's like I don't have enough time to do this, but I want to do this and I have to do this, and that's just really frustrating some days. You have a lot of anxiety some days, just a lot of outside and internal pressure, I guess. Get it all done somehow.
So with that work, it sounds deliberate. It sounds intentional.
I get distracted sometimes, like everybody else, because we're all getting shorter attention spans as time goes on. But I really do try to. I just like block everything out and get stuff done. It's hard sometimes.
So if I understand what we've been talking about, you start out talking about kind of this dynamic with your family where you've come to school, you start being your own individual. So going home where you're living under their rules, their house is kind of difficult. You mentioned feelings of frustration, of anger, because you're making that transition into your own person and feel um, almost limited, I guess. Um, and then from there, we talked about some schoolwork and the pressures from your family that you felt growing up through middle school, through high school, and even now to really be deliberate and intentional in your work and to um, do the best that you can do so that others are able to have some benefit from it. Um, and with that, just the balance of managing all of that while also um, taking care of your day-to-day responsibilities, your laundry, your eating every meal, you're talking to friends, maintaining that. You mentioned some desire to foster those relationships, but that the ultimate reason that you're here is for school and to make a difference with other people. Am I right in that?
I would say so.
Nice.